Hey everyone! So get this, they're counting votes again, and Mark Carney is probably sitting in a corner somewhere, curled up like a scared little kid, whispering, we won, over and over again like it's some magic words. But guess what? It's not working. Meanwhile, Pierre Poilievre is out there dancing through these vote counts like he's in a music video holding democracy in one hand and honesty in the other. Canada, get your snacks ready because the Liberal Party's dream just got smacked with reality, and it came with a big stamp that says, Poilievre wins. Welcome back to the only place where we tell you the truth without the government's permission. If you're sick of being lied to by fancy news people and Mark Carney's fake charm, hit that subscribe button and get ready, because these vote recounts aren't just counting votes again. They're like the Liberal Party's worst nightmares coming true right in front of us, and leading the charge is the man himself, Pierre Poilievre, Canada's tough freedom fighter, the guy with the calculator who fights for regular people, here to take that fake crown right off Carney's bald banker head. Let's go back in time. The Liberals, bless their overconfident hearts, were celebrating like they already won with their magic. 170 seats. They puffed out their chests, made some sad Spotify playlist to celebrate, and started planning how to run Parliament like it was a game of Monopoly. And in the middle of their champagne dreams was Mark Carney, a man so boring he makes beige wallpaper look like a party. Carney was supposed to be the smart grown-up. The Liberals brought him in like some money superhero. Oh, look, he worked at the Bank of England. He's so smart. But here's the problem. Nobody voted for this guy to be King of Canada, and it turns out he can't even win an election without vote-counting drama. Boom! First domino falls. Jonathan Wilkinson wins the area of terror. Nova after, they counted the votes again, not by 1,000 votes, not by 100 votes, but by only 12 votes. That's right, 12 votes were all it took to slap the Liberal fantasy back into real life. These vote recounts are pulling back the curtain like in the Wizard of Oz story, and guess what's behind it? It's not a wise wizard, it's just Mark Carney sweating in a jacket that's too big for him. But it gets even better. In the Quebec area of Témiscouata, Bas-Saint-Laurent, the count changed by just one vote. One single person with a pencil changed everything. And that, my friends, is how weak this so-called victory really is. Pierre Poilievre saw through all the confusion, raised the alarm, and said, nope, we're counting everything again, baby. And thank goodness he did, because as everything clears up, guess who's standing tall with all the proof in his hands? That's right, Pierre, cool, calm, and fixing the Liberal lies one area at a time. Meanwhile, back at Liberal headquarters, the mood is, let's just say, like a nervous breakdown mixed with expensive wine. Mark Carney, who once walked around like he was the next Winston Churchill, is now avoiding questions, skipping Parliament, and being less honest than a foggy bathroom mirror. Seriously, the man is hiding from question time like it's Ameth test he didn't study for. We're watching a masterclass in leadership. If your masterclass is called How to Panic Nicely While Everything Falls Apart, and can we talk about how crazy the news coverage is, or should I say, how there's no coverage at all? Where's the countdown clock? Where's CBC with their serious faces and worried eyebrows? Oh, right. They're too busy pretending this never happened. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. If this was happening to Conservatives instead, and they were stealing Liberal wins by one vote, CBC would be screaming about the end of the world with fancy maps and flashing lights. But guess what? Canadians aren't blind. We see the truth. The system isn't broken. It's being fixed by vote recounts. Recounts that Pierre Poilievre demanded. Recounts that show, yes, which votes were ignored, which areas were counted wrong, and which liberal victories were more like fairy tales than facts. Now let's take a minute to really roast Mr. Mark, economics degree and empty promises, Carney. This is a man who entered Canadian politics like it was a fancy speech, no charm, no votes, no clue, just vibes. He showed up in an expensive suit and said, "Trust me, I'm from the Bank of England, sir. This is Tim Horton's country, not fancy London school." The Liberals rolled him out like he was their secret weapon. It turns out he's more like a soggy sandwich. His big plan: sit back, say nothing, count imaginary votes, and hope the news declares him king before anyone notices the votes are still being counted. But now the vote counters are coming, one by one, area by area, and his house of cards is falling apart like a cheap lawn chair. And while Carney holds his spreadsheets and mumbles about being stable, Pierre is out here building a real movement. First Témiscouata, Basse Saint Laurent, then Terra Nova. What's next? Ontario is shaking. Newfoundland's recount chaos is spreading like wildfire. These aren't just small details. These are big bombs. Each recount is like a truth bomb thrown into the Liberal echo chamber, and every explosion shows just how empty their so-called victory really was. Remember, the Liberals were one seat away from winning everything. One! And now, thanks to recounts, they're one step away from total collapse. The walls are closing in, the rug's been pulled, the fairy tale is falling apart, and Pierre Poilievre is telling the whole story like a winning audiobook. Let's not forget the news media's role in this dumpster fire. When the Liberals looked like they were winning everything, the old school press was doing backflips on camera. But now that recounts are flipping seats. Cricket's ghost town. They've gone so quiet you'd think someone unplugged them. It's not journalism. It's cheerleading in disguise, and we're not playing along. Canadians are tired of being spoon-fed cleaned up lies while democracy dies behind closed doors. We want every vote counted, every close race recounted, every liberal fantasy torn down brick by shaky brick. And while Carney flails around, Pierre shines. He's not out here whining. He's demanding answers. He's saying what every regular Canadian is thinking: if one vote can flip a seat, then every seat deserves a second look. That's not a threat to democracy. That is democracy. Pierre Poilievre isn't afraid of the truth. He's dragging it out into the light with both hands, dusting it off and planting it like a flag. This isn't politics as usual. This is a movement. This is history happening right now. And if the Liberals can't handle it, well, maybe they should have campaigned harder instead of measuring curtains for an office they never really won. So where does that leave us? Simple. The Liberal majority fantasy is dead. Mark Carney's believability is toast. The media's mask is slipping. And Pierre Poilievre, he's marching straight through the chaos with the people behind him and the truth as his weapon. This isn't about left versus right. It's about right versus wrong. It's about whether we let a broken system stand or whether we fix it one vote at a time, one seat at a time, one recount at a time. So if you're watching this and you still believe in real democracy, not just the Liberal brand name version, then it's time to act. Share this video, drop a comment, demand honesty, and most importantly, keep your eyes open because the next recount might just be yours. And to Mark Carney, wherever you are, probably hugging your economics binder like a teddy bear, just know that no amount of polished interviews or banking credentials can save you now. The people are watching. The numbers are changing, and Pierre is just getting started. This isn't a recount. This is payback time. Please like, share, and subscribe for more savage truth bombs and recount revelations. Hit that bell so you never miss a moment when Pierre Poilievre destroys liberal lies. This is Canada Unfiltered, and we're just warming up.